Michelle a Conofest. Es un placer tenerte aquí con todas, con Conocrew, con todos los Conofest. Y bueno, lo primero que quiero decirte es súper enhorabuena por Running Home, por ese documental maravilloso que has creado. Es uno de los más bonitos que he visto y más conmovedores en los últimos tiempos, así que enhorabuena por haberlo hecho porque es maravilloso. Y
Gracias. Those are big compliments.
Y creo que la primera pregunta que me gustaría hacerte es ¿cómo llegas a decir, venga, vamos a hacer esta aventura? Porque estoy segurísima de que, o sea, simplemente el hecho de que Inma te plantease, oye, es que voy a correr una maratón en el Sáhara, ¿me acompañas? O sea, ya suena a aventura. ¿Cómo dices, vale, ok, o sea, cómo fue el proceso de decir, me voy contigo a esta aventura tan intensa y tan
Sí.
inmensa, ¿no?
Yeah, so at the time when I met Inma, I was kind of in this point in my career where I was doing a lot of work that wasn't very meaningful and wasn't asking like questions about the state of our world and social justice. And when I met her and she told me that she would be running a marathon in the desert, I immediately right away knew that I wanted to do it and kind of had to take a step back and like reevaluate the decision because we had just met and she had asked me to go to this place that I had never been before and like do a film about this country that I had never heard before. So it was kind of those rare moments where I just knew right away that it felt right and I had to do it. So everything fell into place.
Yeah, because I think that is really brave to accept it and to go there and film it. And I would like to know what was, or maybe I don't know, the thing that you have to struggle with, or the more difficult part of it. It could be in an all type of senses. I don't know, maybe emotionally, or maybe because of the place, because the heat. I don't know. What was the most difficult thing?
The most difficult thing was emotionally. So I embarked on the project like 2.5, 3 years ago. So I look at that whole journey and what was the most difficult. And emotionally, it was just so taxing. When I was there, when I came home, like the contrast between life at home in Canada and Toronto compared to life in the refugee camps is completely different. Like we have, where I live, like, you know, I have so much privilege, and like we have a city, we have structures, we have like forest and grass, like, you know, we have agriculture and more technology. But I felt like when I went to the camps, the family there and everybody we met was so warm and kind, and like, you know, they'd ask you how you are in 4 different ways and constantly inviting you to tea, and time wasn't a thing. We would kind of just hang out for 3 hours and just enjoy conversation and each other. And I didn't have that kind of community in Canada. So like the culture shock from the camps to coming back home to Canada was like, I just felt so isolated and depressed, and I had to take a month off work, not by choice. I just needed a month to like gather myself and be comfortable again. And also like in making the film, a lot of it was done alone out of necessity, just because I didn't have budget to hire anybody and like find a production company or find enough funding. So to do it a lot of it by myself was just really emotional and draining. And again, like I had to take breaks in between editing and like take a month or two off and not think about the project at all and then go back to it and then I could do it. But yeah, it was an emotional journey, but a good one.
Yes, I could imagine, but because I think that, como pienso que el espectador, ¿no? Es muy consciente del proceso que habéis vivido, ¿no? Que vive Inma, porque entiendo que tú para rodarlo lo viviste detrás de las cámaras, pero también se ve la cantidad de capas, ¿no? Que hablabas tú que hay dentro del documental, porque ya no es solo el conflicto que sucede ahora mismo en el Sáhara, también es la superación de Inma, ¿no? También es
Sí,
esa cosa que tiene dentro de que es férrea y que si quiere ganar un maratón se entrena para hacerlo hasta que lo consigue, y también lo que hablas de la familia, de cómo te acogen, cómo se acogen allí en comparación con cómo vivimos nosotras la cultura europea, ¿no? Yo creo que eso llega al espectador y creo que es eso lo fascinante que consigue Running Home,
sí,
que nos da ese salto de conciencia que yo creo que viviste, también lo percibe, ¿no?
sí.
Y bueno,
And,
supongo.
and
Dime,
and
dime.
I'll tell you because I did it on purpose to follow Inma's journey and her emotional journey. I feel like in Canada, like maybe in Spain, I feel like it's different, but in Canada, most people have never heard of the Western Sahara, and the issue just seems so far removed in a way that I'd like if I were to have done a documentary that was very factual, I don't think people would have cared very much. So I made a lot of creative decisions around focusing on Inma and like her emotional journey and like looking for belonging and something that was a lot more individualistic that I felt every person could relate to.
A mí es que me parece fascinante, ¿no? Porque también es eso de que vemos cómo su propia identidad es cuestionada por todos los lados, o sea, tanto donde se ha criado como de donde es del Sáhara, y es como ¿sabes? Como una falta vale, pero de dónde pertenezco y quién me puede cobijar y de qué grupo puedo formar parte, ¿sabes? Y eso yo creo que es algo como universal que tenemos todos. Y, a ver, la siguiente pregunta sería, eh, ¿cuál es la curiosidad o qué te llevas de ese viaje, de ese documental? Algo que digas súper especial, una anécdota que nos puedas contar. Que digas, mira, pues yo recuerdo, tengo esto y lo recuerdo muy intensamente, o me pasó esto que me encantó.
Well, when I was filming the marathon, so it was 4 hours or 4 hours and a half, and it felt like I was filming for half an hour. So I was in a car with a Sahrawi following her running. And there was one point, half an hour before she finished the race, that we got separated because there were dunes and the sand was too soft for a car to drive through. So we separated, and this was like the second day of being in the camps, and I had just met this man, the driver. He's a friend now, but at the time I was like, whoa, I'm in the middle of the Sahara Desert with a stranger and anything could happen. I have no idea where I am. But we ended up getting stuck in the sand at one point, and people had to help us get out of it. But like when we got stuck just filming the marathon and up until then, everything had felt so chaotic. But there was this moment where we were just alone in the desert, and like the sky was so blue and all you see is sand and just blue, and it was so quiet and the wind was blowing in our face, and I just felt so like humbled and overwhelmed by the nature that I was seeing, and it was like this like outer body spiritual experience. And yeah, that's one of the things I remember the most because it's just
Me parece espectacular, la verdad, esa sensación de conexión con la naturaleza, ¿no?
yeah.
Hay veces que la vida nos pone en lugares que nos da Stenhal, ¿no? Incluso del... Pues bueno, ya ahora mismo ya estamos como llegando al final de estos 15 maravillosos minutos.
Okay.
Nada, bueno, si tuvieses bueno, que hablar de Conofest y eso, ¿qué es lo que más te está molando de lo que estamos haciendo?
¿De qué? I missed the last part.
O sea, ¿qué es lo que te está gustando de lo que estamos haciendo?
I like that you're supporting women creators. Out of all the film festivals that I've been accepted in, you guys have been the most communicative and supportive, and like, I don't know, it shows that you guys care a lot through like your branding, through communicating with me, through paying for my film. Like a lot of festivals didn't do that. And as an independent filmmaker, like as much as money shouldn't matter, like putting that amount just makes me feel more valued and like my work is important and like you respect my work. So
for us is really important, that point, because we couldn't do anything without your films. So it doesn't make sense to do a festival without carrying all of you. And I mean, for us it's very important, and I feel really proud if you feel like this, because this is what we want. And finally, would you like to ask me a question? I don't know.
Ooh, that's the toughest question you've asked because I don't know. I have a question.
Tienes una pregunta, a ver. Fácil, ¿eh?
I don't know. What has your experience been like with the festival? Like, I'm actually curious, like, how you guys came up with the festival.
Digamos que esto surgió porque, bueno, yo dirigía y coordinaba uno aquí en Palma y digamos que por falta un poco de entendimiento decidimos emprender el nuestro propio, y tanto Sara como yo teníamos un montón de ideas que queríamos aplicar, y al final creo que lo más fácil era pues hacer el nuestro propio, con nuestras ideas, con que toda la voluntad que teníamos, todas las actividades, y teníamos muy claro que lo que queríamos era dar visibilidad, y estamos haciendo mucho trabajo todas juntas, ya no solo Sara, sino todo el equipo de Conoclub que está detrás, para que tengáis visibilidad y apoyo, y sobre todo para combatir la desigualdad que todas sufrimos, ¿sabes? Que es que al final nos implica a todas, y yo creo que lo que me gustaría transmitir es que cuando compras la entrada lo que estás haciendo es apoyarnos a todas, ¿sabes? Que no es solamente una cosa de que solo sea cine, sino que es que también, bueno, pues que es un festival activista y feminista, y la misión de este propio festival es desaparecer, ¿sabes? Que deje de existir porque no haga falta, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, surgió un poco, y también Sara y yo nos llevamos muy bien, y a nivel de trabajo, pues somos las dos como que muy creativas, y bueno, y nos hemos encontrado aquí y estamos en ello a tope. Pues bueno, muchas gracias, Michelle.
Muchas gracias.
Y nada, que bueno, un placer tenerte aquí, ¿vale? Nos vemos en el festival.
Sí, thank you so much.
Chao.